Hello there, welcome to the Krossroads POS YouTube channel. In this video, you will learn how to configure tipping in Krossroads POS. In Krossroads POS, tips are collected directly on the Stripe card reader, whereby the customer is presented with a screen, from which they can select a tip amount. This means that tipping can only be done using a card reader that has a screen display, such as the Wise POS or Stripe S700 card readers. Before you can configure tipping, you therefore need to first connect your Stripe account and Stripe card reader. If you have not already done this, please see the separate videos on how to connect your Stripe account to Krossroads POS, as well as the video on how to connect the Wise POS card reader. It is important to note that tipping configuration applies to all the card readers at a location. This means that if you have multiple Stripe card readers that are active at a location, the tipping configuration, once set, will apply to all the card readers at that location. To configure tipping, navigate to the Stripe Payment Settings screen. Under the Stripe Card Reader section, select the Reader Configuration option. The first step is to enable tipping by toggling on the Enable Tip Collection button. Once tipping is enabled, you then need to specify the tipping options that will be presented to the customer. You have the option of specifying both fixed tip amounts, as well as percentage tip amounts. The fixed tip amounts will be presented to the customer when the total amount due is below a specified threshold. Conversely, the percentage tip amounts will be presented to the customer when the amount due is above the specified threshold. After you have entered the tip amounts that should be presented to the customer, click on the Apply Configuration button to save the configuration. Once a tip configuration has been set, the Stripe card reader will automatically display a tip selection screen whenever a payment is being collected. The customer can then opt to tip based on one of the suggested tip amounts, or the customer can opt not to tip. The choice of tip amount has to be made by the customer. Therefore, the Stripe card reader has to be presented to the customer to enable them to make their selection. If a customer decides to add a tip amount, the tip amount selected by the customer will be added to the transaction total when the payment is processed. The tip amount will also be shown in the email or paper receipts for the transaction. If you later need to disable tipping, you can do so by updating the Stripe reader configurations to toggle off the Enable Tip Collection button. Please note that if tip collection is disabled, it will be disabled for all the card readers at the location. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.